So you want to build a free website. You open your laptop, go to Google, type in how to make a website for free, and immediately you are getting hit with ads for Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, all of them promising you a free website. So you click on one, you start building, and then 5 minutes in, boom, upgrade to publish. Or your site is covered in their branding and features like contact form is locked behind a paid plan. This is not a free website, this is a trap. Here is what nobody tells you upfront. You can build a real professional website today completely free without touching a credit card, using a tool you probably already have access to right now. Maybe you might have heard about this company. It's called Google. They have a free solution exactly for this. It's called Google Sites. And if you already have access to Gmail, you are already in. Now, before we start building it, let's take a look at what we actually want to go and build. This is it. I would like to have 3 pages: a home page, an About Us page, and Contact Me page. Nothing complicated, clean, simple, and professional enough that you will be proud to send someone the link. For easy navigation for you, I have also split the entire video into chapters, so you can go and skip ahead or come back to certain chapters you are most interested in. And don't worry, we are not skipping anything. And in the final part, I will also show you how to change that clunky default Google URL over to your custom.com domain. So now let's get started. Firstly, let's take a look at how to actually get to Google Sites. To get to Google Sites, go to sites.google.com or just click the link in the description. You will land on a page that looks a lot like Google's version of PowerPoint or one of their other workspace apps. My first suggestion is check out the template gallery before you do anything else. Click these 2 arrows and you will be able to browse the entire template library. If something there already fits your vision, just use it. It can save you a ton of time. But for this tutorial, I'm going to start with completely blank page. So we have complete freedom. So I'm gonna click on blank in the top left. And this is the place where we're gonna go and design it. Now, this can be very overwhelming for beginners. So in the initial part, I think it's really better that I will walk you through everything and how it works. And then after we know this, we can go and start designing the actual site. So let's start with a quick tour of toolbars. Here's our site. In the middle is the core of our website, the actual visual. On the right side, you have got all the tools you will need to take it from this to something like this. I want to walk you through what each button in the top bar actually does. In the top left, we have name of your site. This is the name you will see in your Google Sites dashboard. So if you are managing multiple sites, it keeps everything easy to track. Undo and redo buttons, 2 of the most important buttons here. If you ever mess something up, you can just rewind it and come back in time. Super useful. Mobile view. This lets you preview how your site will look on a phone. Please do not skip this. Always double check that your site works also on mobile too. Then we have copy link. You will need to publish your sites first before this actually works, which we will get to at the end. Then we have share button. This lets you bring in a designer, copywriter, or just friend or family member to look things over, or even to go and collaborate in creating this site with you. Then we have gear icon. I have very small checklist for this as well. So let me just go and finish the top bar. In here we have, for example, a version history. This shows you every major change made to the site over time. This is genuinely super useful for tracking your progress. Make a copy is also great if you want to go and test 2 different versions of a site. Say one with a different headline, so you can duplicate it, tweak it, and send both links out for feedback, so you don't need to go and change it on one site. Help and report option is also in here, so if you feel you need any help, feel free to use those. And then we have the big publish button. This is what makes your site available to everyone on the internet or just to people you choose. Click the small arrow next to it and you will find options like review changes. This is great once multiple people are working on the same site, and also view published site to go and see how people will go and see it in their browser. And also you have option to unpublish your site. So now let me go back to the gear icon, and I promise you this is going to be the last boring explanation before we start actually designing it. So let's start with the settings in here. Here you can set up the navigation, whether it shows up at the top or on the side, and what color it uses. If you are not sure yet, just leave it on the top and transparent for now. Next, you can upload your logo and your favicon. This is a little icon that shows up in the browser tab. This is a very small detail, but it instantly makes your site look 10 times more professional. Under Viewer Tools, I would recommend turning off the info icon. If you leave it on, every visitor can click on it and see the last time your site was updated. The anchor links, on the other hand, are fine to leave on. They shouldn't be disruptive for people. Connecting a custom domain is something we will cover later in this video. So this would be the way how to get a .com domain. And then you have also option with Google Analytics. Very easy to go and connect once you have the account already. But right now we can skip this. Then we have also announcement banner. This is a sticky banner that shows up across your site. I will create one quickly so you can see how it looks. If you want to hide it, just uncheck show banner. And now let's start going over design. So let's start with this best practice to always try to do before you start designing, because this will save you a lot of times. Let's go into themes on the right sidebar and click the plus icon. Name your theme. Something like my theme is completely fine. And if you already have a logo or a banner image, you can drop it in here. Though you can always update it later, so no worry if you don't have it ready yet. Click on next, then choose the colors that fit your brand. If you have specific brand colors in mind, you can enter them directly under custom colors. Once you are happy, click next again and pick your fonts. One for headings, the big bold parts of your site, and the one for body text, the regular paragraph text. Try to keep these fonts close in style or matching entirely. Having mismatched fonts can make your site look very cheap and very unprofessional. Once you are done, click on Create Theme and you will see your whole site update instantly. So now we can see we have only one page. This is going to be our home page. But as I was mentioning, we would like to also have About Us page and Contact Us page. So let's add those. If you want to add more pages, click on Pages, then plus icon and name it. For example, About Us. Click Done and you will see it added up to the top. In here, you can go and set up what is going to be your home page. And also, if you already designed one page, for example, for service, what you can also do here is duplicate the page and change certain stuff. So if you have, for example, multiple services, you don't need to start from scratch every single time. This can save you a lot of time later on. Everything I will show you on the homepage for here applies to any other page too. So now let's go back to the homepage and let's start designing our site. So let's start with the header. This is this part of the site. This is probably the most important part because it is the first impression that your site will create with visitors. Hover over it and in the top left corner, you will see an image option. Click it, then click Upload and select the image you want to use. This is a quick tip. If you don't love the idea of a busy photo, a solid color or a simple gradient works great too. For this tutorial, we will go with a normal image. Once it's updated, you will notice Google automatically dims the image slightly to keep your text readable. If you would rather show the image at the full brightness, hover over it and click the star icon. On the right, you can adjust the image's position within the header. Custom background. Here's a trick. Google Sites built-in background image options are pretty limited. If you want something more custom, like a specific gradient, it's easier to create it in Canva first, save it as an image, and then upload it as your background. Just click the background option, click upload image, select your file, and you will have your own custom background. It is really that easy. To resize the header, adjust it under header type. And here's another tip. If you want more control, say showing more of the bottom of the image, add a spacer. That gives you a full control over the height and lets you fine-tune exactly how much of the image is shown. Adding a content blocks. Once you're happy with the header, it's time to add a section below it. Rather than starting from a blank layout, use the pre-built content blocks. It's much faster. For this example, I want to build something like this. And the closest match is this first layout option. It's just a mirror. So all I need to do is actually flip the element, the image, to the other side. And now it matches what I had in mind. To add an image, click the plus button. From there, you can add a map, a calendar, or a YouTube video, or pull an image straight from your drive. I will upload one from my computer instead. Click Upload and select the file. If the image ends up cropped, you can expand it by dragging the blue dots. To resize it while keeping the same proportions, drag the corner blue dots and hold Shift on your keyboard to lock the aspect ratio. And we can see it worked pretty well. Adding text. Adding text is just as simple. Click into the text box and start typing. Once you have written something, a new panel pops up with all your formatting options: font, color, size, and more. If you click something and nothing happens, it's usually because you need to go and select the specific section first. And now you can see it is working fine. Adding buttons. Don't worry, you are not limited to whatever's built into a content block. You can add individual elements there too. To add a button, click on the button asset, then type in the label. This is the text visitors will see, and add the link underneath. You can move it anywhere you like, and if you ever need to update the text or link, just click back on it. Now let's add a map. To add a map, go to Insert section and select Map. Type in a location or paste a full address. Keep in mind the zoom level you will go and set up now in this view will be also the default view for people visiting your site. So make sure it is close to your vision. So if you are a very local business and want the street clearly visible, zoom in a bit before saving it. If not, it's fine to leave it zoomed out a little bit. Now it's just the option about going, copying those steps and changing them slightly. Now let's publish our site. Before you can preview your site, you need to publish it. Click the publish button and you will be asked to enter a web address people will use to reach your site. This becomes your final URL. Now just a heads up, sometimes the name you want is already taken, so you need to try something more unique. If you are not ready for people to see it yet, say you are still working on it, click Who can view my site, then Manage. From here, you can either share it with specific people or set it as a draft. By default, a published site is public, meaning anyone can visit it. If you would rather keep it private, click Remove Link. And only people you have specifically shared it with, who are signed into their correct Google account, will be able to view it. For this example, we can leave it public so everybody can see it. So I will click on Done. One more setting worth knowing: if you don't want your site to be showing on Google or Bing, you can block that too. This is especially handy, for example, if you are making a wedding website, whenever you want people to still access it via link, but not have it publicly available for everyone around the world. Once it's published, click on the link icon and grab your final URL, copy it, and go ahead and test it out, even in an incognito window. Now, everything we have just seen is completely free. It's a fully functional site. The one thing that isn't ideal is the URL. It's not exactly pretty, but don't worry. For less than the price of a meal at McDonald's, you can connect a fully custom domain. So instead of the long Google site link, you get something clean like yourname.com. It's genuinely easy. All you need is a domain name. And based on my experience, Namecheap is by far the simplest option for connecting to Google site. So let's see how easy it is to buy. So let's buy a domain. So to get the domain name and see all the available discounts, you can go over to lukanovs.com/Namecheap or click the link in the description. This should land you on this specific page. So just type in the domain name you want. If someone already owns it, it will show as unavailable and you will need to go and try something else. A couple of things to watch out for. Turn on your domain privacy. This keeps your personal information from being publicly visible in Domain Registrar. Uncheck any other access next to domain privacy and the domain itself, even the ones that are offering free trial. You do not need them. And the third advice is look in today's prices. Domain prices tend to creep up every year, so it might be worth prepaying. The maximum length is 10 years, but I would recommend starting with 6 to 8 years. This can save you a lot of money in the long run and also protect your domain since no one else will be able to get it. Once you already hit confirm order, you will fill in all of your information and click on continue. Please make sure you will double check if your domain name is spelled out correctly. Then you will see another summary and we can go ahead and pay. And that's it. It was that simple. You have successfully bought your domain. Now let's connect it to Google site. Before doing anything, make sure your site is actually published and visible for public. This is a must-have if you want to go and connect a domain. In Google site, click on gear icon, then custom domains, then connect a domain. Type in your domain name and hit next. You will see an error in here. That's normal and it's asking us to verify that we are the rightful owner of this domain. So click on verify your ownership, select your domain and click on continue. You will see a unique code inside here. Just copy it and we will use it in Namecheap. So now let's go back to Namecheap, click on domain list, then manage. And then let's click on advanced DNS. You will see these two existing records inside here. We should delete both of those using the trash icon inside here. Once they're gone, click on add new record. And inside here, we are looking for txt record. For the host, enter the add sign and in the value field, paste the code we have copied from Google site. And just click on the green check mark to save it. And this is it. We have verified that we are the owner of this domain. So now let's go and head back to Google Sites and click on verify. If it gives you an error, just wait a few seconds and try again. It usually goes through on the second or even third try. Once verified, go back to the gear icon, then custom domains and enter your domain name once again. This time, there is no error because we have already verified that we are the owner of this domain. But you will need to add one last record in Namecheap to finish this app. So inside here, we just copy this value Google gives us, and we can go back to Namecheap and click on add new record. And this time we are choosing a CNAME record. For the host, enter www and paste the value that we have copied from the Google and hit the green check mark. And this is it. This is your domain name now connected. It can take a few minutes to even in some cases hours to fully propagate, but now everything should work fine. So you can go and grab your link and now we can see it's showing us our own unique link. It's not a generic one, it's our unique link. And if we go to incognito mode, we can see it is actually working. And this is the whole tutorial. It was really this easy. So thank you for watching and goodbye.